What's up there, SEO pros? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a questionnaire for your SEO clients, or your prospective SEO clients, I should say. So depending on your client, it's going to really differ on what kind of questions you should be asking them, because some people are going to have sites that are going to be a lot different than other people, right? So I don't believe that the SEO questionnaire you make for your client should be something that should be the same for every person. Of course, your questionnaire is probably gonna be a lot different for a giant website opposed to a small website, like a local business. Today I'm gonna actually be making a questionnaire for a local site, but a lot of the things that you're gonna be asking are gonna be similar to what you'd be asking for different sites as well. Like, for instance, what does one of your conversions look like to you? Um, what do you think is your main KPI? You don't have to ask questions that are too intricate, but it is important to know a little bit about what the client thinks is going to be a driving force behind their sales online. And then if what they think is actually a driving force isn't correct, you can actually tell them, hey, look, this is something that I've found that is going to be more helpful, I think, in the long run. So without further ado, let's just go into it. So I'm going to be kind of making this questionnaire as we go. I already know what to pretty much ask, but for this specific client, so I do want to give you guys an update. So for this client, this was actually somebody I got off of a cold call outreach, which is really cool because a lot of you were like, did the cold call outreach, you did do anything? And it's funny because I called this person, I left them a message, I think they called back, and then they said, hey, look, I'm not interested in right now, but I might call you back later, which was fine. And they just called me back today saying, hey, look, I need some help. I was wondering if you could talk to me about what you do. They did a little bit of an interview. I wish I would have known right then that was going to happen. I would have recorded it for you guys so you could have listened to what I said. Basically, what I said was, hey, yeah, look, I've been doing this for a couple years. These are the results that I've been able to achieve for my different clients. So basically just showing the credibility of me being able to rank in different places, the people I'm currently working with. And then I told him, look, if you would like, I'll send you over a questionnaire. I can do an audit for you of your site for $100 and let you know what's going on and make an actionable game plan for you to pretty much figure out whether or not, this would be a right fit, but at least you'd be able to walk away from the situation knowing, what's wrong with your website, and maybe outsource it to somebody else if you're not interested in me. So he said, yeah, that's great. Send over the questionnaire. So that's why I'm creating this right now. So this will be a multiple part series where you guys can see the next video I make after this, where I'm actually going to be getting the response email from him and showing you guys the different things I do for the audit after I get the answers to this questionnaire. So I thought it'd be pretty interesting for you guys to see this. So now that you're updated, let's just get into it. So this is their website. And first of all, the only reason I'm looking this isn't because I'm doing an audit, but just because I kind of want to get an idea on what their business is about. And of course, they're a local website. As you can see here, I'm assuming that this isn't mobile friendly. If we were to plug this into a tool like SEMrush, I'm pretty sure we'd see some sort of drop off in traffic at some point, mainly because of the fact that it's not mobile friendly. So we'll just do a quick search on this and see what their traffic looks like. And it looks like there isn't really any organic traffic at all for this site, or at least no organic rankings. Now, that's not to say that they aren't ranking for keywords, as I did check before this video if they are ranking for building damage restoration, Santa Barbara, and it looks like they are. But for their other landing pages that they've created, like this page, there's actually, they're not ranking for this very well. I didn't see them actually at all ranking for it. So one of the things also is that there's no home button, but that's more getting into the audit. So now that I know that this is a local business and that they're trying to rank for local based keywords, and they don't really have a mobile site, those are a couple things that I can pretty much look at and be like, okay, first of all, it's that one question I brought up in the beginning. What does a conversion look like? Conversion look like for you? And then I will explain what that means, because some people don't understand what like a conversion looks like. So I'll say, in other words, what does a conversion online look like for you? In other words, what do you want people to do when they get to your website? So like, do you want them to call you for mold removal, what are the different, so I guess the next thing would be what are the main services or products you offer? So that way we can kind of get a better idea on their keywords as well. So and then another question would be, who's your main competition? Or who do you consider your main competition? So those are some good ones, because of course their competition is something that you know, they look at, but they don't really know how they're doing online. So that would be a cool insight. So all of these things as well that you do for the questionnaire, you can also provide them answers, right? So they say, like I said earlier, they say one thing, but you might actually be able to provide them a better answer or better insight. Like for instance, what are the main services you offer? So maybe they offer mold removal, but they didn't know that there's another latent semantic indexing keyword around that that's very similar, that they could actually be saying they offer, and maybe they do offer, they just don't really list it. So that's how you can actually start helping them a lot, by letting them understand the keyword research that you've been finding around their stuff, and then also kind of doing a little bit of analysis on their competitors through their citations, whether their competitors are getting traffic for certain keywords and they're not. Also offering that sort of insight helps people, or the potential clients that you're pitching, get a better understanding of, you know, kind of the things that they could be ranking for, and help them get an understand that their competition's taking basically a lot of their traffic because they're not doing the proper SEO for their stuff. James Mabadi, I think that's how you say your last name, man, just entered. And what's up, man? And we got 7 people watching. If you guys are enjoying this, press 1. Don't forget to hit the like button, because that is going to boost this video to more people. All right, so some other stuff that I'm probably going to want to ask are what kind of SEO have they done so far, if they know. So if known, what sort of online marketing have you engaged in so far? And then that would be, for instance, SEO, social media marketing, paid advertising, etc. And then I probably would want to know, like, what's the current status of that. Well, of course, if they're looking for me, they're probably not doing it actively. So I'll just probably just ask that for now. Because we do want to see if they are doing like any sort of social media marketing, or if they have in the past, because that a lot of those things do combine into like one thing once you start doing, or not one thing, but they help contribute to your overall online marketing efforts. And, you know, of course, certain things matter. Like, you know, if you're doing search engine marketing, that might help your overall conversions. Well, hopefully it will. So that is one of the things I do want to look at. Also, we can see here site 39 pages, not bad. And then you don't want to ask them too many questions. So I think this is kind of a good start. I would say, I would ask, if possible, do you know how many leads you're generating off your site right now? So I think that's a pretty good outline, and thanks for the ones, guys. Simon's saying, good stuff, you're an SEO maniac, and I try to be. Christopher's in the house, he says, what's up? Mike's in the house. Pietro, I think is how you pronounce your name. What's up, man? I got your message on Facebook. Okay, so for now, let's see. Let's just look at it. So what is a conversion? So you got to think of it from their point of view. They're answering it. So I'm gonna say this is his name. I'll just show you how the email is gonna look. I'm gonna say, hey Mike, Chase, the SEO guy here. Quick questionnaire for you before I get started. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna list the different items, because people like itemized lists. So I'm gonna say 1. What does a conversion online look like for you? In other words, what do you want people to do when they get to your website? Call you, and then I'll just say, I think that's good for now. I think he'll understand what that means. 2, I'm gonna say, what are the main services or products you offer? 3, who do you consider your main competition? 4, if known, what sort of online marketing have you engaged in so far? For instance, SEO, social media marketing, paid advertising, etc. And then 5, it's if possible, do you know how many leads you're generating off your site right now? And then anything beyond that, I could pretty much figure out on my own. This is kind of like just to get an idea on what's going on. Also, I'm going to put 6. Here's a good one. Here's a good one to ask. 6. If necessary, would you be interested in spending or in putting aside an extra budget for paid advertising? Because it's always interesting to see if people would also be interested in doing some sort of search engine marketing, because then they would say that they might be interested, and if they are, then you know, you can definitely do a lot extra with like some sort of search network campaign for, you know, of course, PPC advertising. So that would actually also be really cool for us, because we don't have a client that's doing search network right now. So I think that's good for the questionnaire. I would like to see what other people are doing for their questionnaire really quick before we head out of here. I was reading a little bit on this. So it looks like, what is the average lifetime value, yada yada. We could ask that, not that big of a deal. I will say one of the final question, I think one of the questions we really should ask is, do you know your target market and buyer persona? Because that's really important to see, like, if they know who they're marketing to, mainly because, you know, it makes it easier for us when we're going out and, you know, marketing to these people. Like, for instance, I know that you guys are mainly between the ages of 25 to 45, and you're a male who's, you know, doing a part-time business and looking to expand your knowledge on SEO so that you can start working more on your own company. Like, that's my target audience. That's just, and I just know that through my analytics. So it's important, if you can, to see, you know, if they know who their target audience is, because it makes it easier for you when you're going out and trying to market to their target audience. So I'm going to make that the questionnaire for now. So after those questions, I will say, if you'd like, or if you have any questions, please respond. Please let me know, and I will respond ASAP. Would you like? Well, I guess on the follow-up, I'll say, would you like me to send the invoice to the same email? But we're going to wait for him to answer these first. And then I'll put my email or my website, SEO@chasereiner.com. And then we're going to put the phone number and just the phone number. So cool. So now you guys can kind of see, boom, that's what you're going to put, at least kind of an outline. Like I said, it is going to depend on, it's going to differ from client to client. I will put this in the link of this video, so you guys can go ahead and just copy and paste this to anybody you might be asking sort of the same questions. And of course, I'll show you how I actually respond to these questions respond to the responses of these questions once the guy, Mike, who I'm going to send this out to, reaches back with his reply. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the audit, so you guys can pretty much see how I go out and respond to this stuff, so you can do something similar. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I'm actually going to be answering some questions after this in another stream. So if you guys want to head over to there, it's going to start in about, like, 5-10 minutes. I have to make the thumbnail. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, and I really appreciate that. And hopefully we'll see you in the next future, in the near future. See ya.